The road to enlightenment. The mystified seeker. A man is sitting by a river, staring into the space. He is dressed in simple clothes, but clean, and his face appears to be racked with turmoil and frustration. A young man, Ravi, sits opposite a peaceful river. His mind was drowned in stormy waves of doubts and fear about the purpose of life. The thrill of life had been full of difficulties, and his decisions led him to nowhere. He was gazing into the flowing water and expecting it to provide some answer. Journey to Buddha. Ravi walks down a very silent forest path where trees grow above him and the sky glows softly. At some distance, he can see the figure of Buddha meditating under his tree. Unable to shake off his gathering anxieties, Ravi learns of a sage teacher known as Buddha who is said to calm tormented minds. Desperate for answers, Ravi makes his way out. Walking along a peaceful forest road, his feet are heavy, but there is still a spark of hope, and he approaches the figure of Buddha sitting under a tree in deep meditation. The plea for help. Ravi finds Buddha, who sits in a state of calming meditation. Ravi stands in front of him, unsure but begging. Ravi ultimately came to the place where Buddha is sitting deeply meditating under the Bodhi tree. His chest was sore as he walks towards the enlightened one. Overwhelmed, hesitantly he spoke, "I am lost, Master. I cannot find peace or purpose. Why is life full of such turmoil?" Buddha's response. He slowly opens his eyes and meets Ravi's gaze as a soft smile crosses his face. A soft voice is heard coming from his mouth. Calmness flows through him. Buddha gently opened his eyes and listened to Ravi's troubled words. His voice was as soft as a soothing breeze. "The storm of the mind is what you feel, Ravi, and confusion born from attachment and the urge to control. Let go of things you can't change." The preaching begins, Karma Yoga. The act becomes mythical as Buddha begins his teaching on the theme of Karma Yoga from the Bhagavad Gita, where images of a farmer sowing seeds and reaping the harvest of his toil are presented. Buddha, he opens. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna teaches Arjuna about Karma Yoga, the path of selfless action. We are bound to act in this world, but true peace comes when we let go of attachment to the results. Like a farmer who sows seeds but cannot control the rain, you must perform your duties without obsessing over the outcome. The nature of the self, the description of the setting, it becomes ethereal, that is, it represents the world of spirits, while Buddha explains the nature of the eternal soul, Atman, as explained by the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. Buddha goes on, "The Bhagavad Gita says to us that we are not these bodies or even these fleeting emotions we experience. You are the eternal soul, Ravi, the Atman, that cannot be touched by death or sorrow. The body and mind will change, but your true self remains inalterable, forever peaceful." The significance of aparigraha. Ravi sits stoically as Buddha describes detachment as the only way to achieve peace, with the imagery of waves crashing against the shore and then retreating. Buddha continues, "Detachment is the key, Ravi. The Bhagavad Gita teaches that desires and attachments cloud our judgment, like waves crashing endlessly on the shore. If you could merely learn to observe the waves, but not be carried away by them, you will find peace." Ravi's realization. Ravi closes his eyes and breathes very deeply. The peaceful smile on his face proves how the lessons are being understood. Taking a deep breath, Ravi closes his eyes as the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita begin to sink into his soul. He then realizes that the source of peace is not trying to control the world, but controlling how he reacts to it. A weight lifts off his chest, and for perhaps the first time in quite a long time, he feels light. To leave. Ravi gets up, bows to Buddha in gratitude, and departs in peace with a mission. Clarity strikes Ravi, and he falls prostrate before Buddha. Confusion and frustration will no longer weigh on his heart. "Thank you, Master," he says from his heart. Walking out of the forest, light seemed to lift off his shoulders, and he is ready to face the world with all the wisdom, Karma Yoga, and teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. The final teaching. The film fades out, leaving on the screen only an extremely simple quote from Bhagavad Gita. As the screen fades to black, echoes reverberate of Buddha's last word. You have the right to perform your duties, but not to the fruits of your actions. Those words linger as a last reflective moment for the watcher. Summary of the story. It is a journey to see how confusion can be made clear through the insight of Buddha and Bhagavad Gita. Then, what starts out as a very simple script becomes amplified through powerful visual symbolism and dialogue on how well the viewer can draw concepts such as karma yoga, about the nature of the self to be eternal, and how truly detachment is important.